All right, as a kid, who wanted to be a hero? Astronaut. Thank you. All right. Well, that dream can come true in little bits at a time, not full-on superhero, save the world and all that. But doing it bit by bit, you can donate to what is called Pro-Veg International. They need your help with some things. And the main ones that they are kind of looking towards are taste, justice, environment, animals, and pro-health. I'm not going to talk about taste, just shows that like a plant-based diet can be tasty if you make it a certain way. Like it's not always salads, okay? But I'm going to be talking about these other four mainly. Here's the proof that this is a serious problem. Farm Sanctuary has done studies to find that animal agriculture is impacting the whole world with gas emissions, so climate change, land degradation to create more grazing land for the cows, pigs, all the encaged animals, etc., chickens, all that. This in turn is driving species to extinction because it is pushing them into unknown territory, which predators will get them a lot easier. We'll kill them, or they eat unknown foods that are poisonous to them because they're not used to that certain area. And the last one is pollution. The waste from the cows and into water sources, which triggers a major decrease in water supply, which, if this continues, we have to use more gas, oil, fossil fuels to power those filtration systems to filter out all that gunk and bile on what those cows or any of the encaged farm animals leave behind. But in turn, even though it's getting filtered, we're still drinking minuscule particles of their literal crap.
Whoa.
I know, right? This problem impacts your life because eating a diet composed of a high animal products leads to high risks of obesity, cancer, and an increase in antibiotic resistance. MindBodyGreen.com states that dairy and meat create the same effects as drugs due to all the hormones being injected into these animals. This affects everything in your body, behavior, energy, health, in all aspects, especially heart disease. As you can see, the leading cause of death in the U.S. right now is heart disease. You guys, omnivores, have a 50% chance of getting heart disease. A vegetarian, only 15%, and a vegan, only 4%. That rate decreases tremendously. People say this problem won't work. Well, they need to check themselves thoroughly. They say they love the taste of meat and wouldn't be able to go on a plant-based diet. Veganism makes you weak. It's not filling. It does more harm to the environment. I would need to take supplements. It's expensive. All those excuses are being said by these people. Maybe sometimes you guys. They are very wrong. Going vegan or vegetarian or just on a plant-based diet in general will give you a sense of getting to know your body better by showing it that there are other forms of food that is sustainable. As you can see, 100 calories of just broccoli has 11.1 grams of protein. 100 calories of steak only has 6. But you got to add in all those hormones, insecticides, all these bad chemicals being introduced to these animals. Vegetables, all they have are insecticides and pesticides. You guys can wash that off. By eating cleaner, instead of eating animal products that are high in saturated fats and avoiding processed meat, which causes very high amounts of cancer nowadays in society, it will lower the chances of getting diseases and cancer, will also lower cholesterol, blood pressure, but on the outside it will increase vitality, energy, youthfulness, and have an increase in being more content and notice more about the value of all lives instead of being addicted to the taste of carcasses. I love this quote right here. A man can live and be healthy without killing animals for food. Therefore, if he eats meat, he participates in taking animal life merely for the sake of his appetite. Here's how this solution will work. I know it sounds crazy right now, but literally freeing all caged animals is the solution. If we start raising awareness of the true problems for the environment and society, we can proceed to try and gain approval from the government in all countries to approve the release of all animals. This solution works by freeing the animals and letting them have their own will to live. People say, like, oh, if we free all the animals, won't they go extinct because they've been domesticated so much? No. Their instincts will kick in, and it's literally survival of the fittest right now. Yes, some will die, but at least not of torture and inhumane killing. We will be able to create more land now to make a dream of ours come true, to end world hunger. All the pastures that we are now letting the cows, cattle, goats, etc. roam free and eat, we can change those grazing pastures into crop fields so that we can actually create more food for the growing population of humans. We will be less susceptible to getting diseases and less immune to antibiotics. The more meat that is consumed, the more bacteria that are antibiotic resistant you are consuming, along with other organisms like tapeworm, E. coli, etc. Literally, I could list a 10-page paper on what you guys are eating. Some say this kind of solution won't work. It is too many people you are asking to do this diet. It won't affect my life. Government will never approve. We are killing them in the most humane way possible. There is a flaw right there. There is no humane way to kill an animal. If that's the case, if you will not try to at least go on let's say a plant-based diet for 30 days. If you don't like it, that's fine. If you like it, literally it will change you. I know certain people that have gone on 3 weeks of a plant-based diet, went back to eating meat, and they said they actually converted to vegetarianism because they didn't like the taste of meat anymore, just after 3 weeks. But if you don't try this, you are now supporting animal cruelty and are going along with world hunger. In the time it takes you to read this, 11,091 animals will be killed for consumption. So if you don't want to do it for the animals, okay. But please, just do it for these people. Alright? Do it for the ones that are dying of starvation. And to give you a little look at what it takes to grow 1 pound of beef, it uses anywhere from 1,600 to 6,000 gallons of water to make 1 pound of beef. 1 pound of vegetables only makes 25 gallons of water. Needs 25 gallons of water. So it will be worse in the future, and you'll let your kin suffer just for your addiction to animal products. For your kin, for yourself, and the world, you need to do something about it now. Picture how much worse off we'll be if we don't use my solution. Conservation Magazine stated that by 2020, we will lose around 2/3 of wild animals and drive them to extinction. That is, if we keep destroying their habitats to create more land area for animal farming and grazing. So here's a little statistic. So for an example, the Amazon. Cattle ranches, this is just in the Amazon. More than 70% of deforestation is used for grazing and farm herding. I think that's the word. But you can see over here what the other parts are used for. Logging, large-scale commercial agriculture, subsistence agriculture, fires, mining.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to wrap up.
Yeah, no problem. So another thing, gas emissions. If we don't use this plant-based diet, it will decrease by 50% if we do go on it by 2050. If we don't use it, it'll increase by 51% by 2050, and we will have acid rain for decades to come. So, call to action. I would like you to donate to proveg.com to make awareness to global change in all aspects, because if you don't, in the long run, this world won't last much longer. Like less water to use, which The Guardian says that by the end of this century, the largest parts of the planet will have non-drinkable water. Not enough food to feed around 10 billion people and more. But if you do, ProVeg will be able to fund scientific research and assemblies to get acquainted with all the countries in the world, so you guys can be part of the reason that life on Earth will be saved. And these guys appreciate it also. Thank you.